pretty much a part of everything this year. So welcome, Doug Schaefer. Doug Schaefer, who is a part of, well, everything. So I'll let you talk about that. Doug, what's going on, my friend?
Doug sucks.
Good to see you.
You too,
Hashtag
man.
Bus One rules. You had the unfortunate privilege of being on my bus for the holiday. So first things first, before we get into all that stuff, Doug Schaefer is a part of like 30 different companies. So why don't you tell us what you're a part of and what your role is?
Well, I'm production manager, lead artist for VFX, VFXcreates.com. Been with them 10 years. Really the only employee that's been with them the whole time. And we finally got full-time employees other than me, so that's cool. Then I have my own stuff on the side. I am Art Guy Designs, just because my license plate was Art Guy in high school, and that just kind of stuck as a business name. And then I'm also Odditikis, because I do odd, weird tiki mugs. So Odditikis.com. So that's, yeah, Art Guy Designs, VFX Creates, Odditikis, yeah.
So your mugs, you were showing them off at Fear Expo. You donated one to the after party, and it was during the after party, whoever was winning the raffles got to decide what they wanted out of the lot that was donated, and yours was the first one to go. Tell us about these very, I don't know how to say this, maybe not drink it in the boardroom meeting coffee mugs.
You say that, but I have a nurse that actually has one of my baby mugs, and she takes it to the hospital and drinks out of it. So, yeah. So as far as my ceramics and stuff go, I started making weird baby doll mugs for the fact that I actually bought a kiln during the pandemic and had to test it. And I remembered, and I was on a trip after a Halloween expo in Houston that we saw in an art store. You could buy baby molds. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I could make ceramics into a porcelain mold. And sure enough, I could. I bought one off eBay, and then I was like, well, that's boring. I'm not just going to make a head. So I bought an arm as well and stuck it to the side of it and turned it into a mug. So this is a little demon one. But yeah, so it was really just a way to test my kiln. And the kiln works, obviously, and those took off. So now I make weird baby doll mugs and ceramics, and I have new ones with extra arms and bowls. And I think I had what I have at the show, the honey pot, so you can actually take the top of the head off, and it had a honey stir in it. And gonna make some other stuff coming up soon. Hopefully, it's like a wax melt where you put the candle in the baby's head and a little bowl on top, and the eyes light up with the candle. And yeah, you can make a lot of stuff with baby doll heads, apparently. So I'm gonna keep making those.
Now, as much as I've interviewed Patrick Voss, and other people have interviewed Patrick Voss and gave him praise for VFX and everything he does with VFX, he will be the first one to kind of bow his head and say, don't thank me, thank Doug. Doug is the creative force behind all this, and he's the one who is rowing this boat harder than anybody. And he pretty much gives you all the credit for all of these visually stunning and practical effects that you come up with. Tell us about your creative process.
Well, I mean, thanks, Pat. Thanks for giving me all the credit. I am there every day. I'm the manager, so I'm at the shop every day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., if not earlier and later. Pat did come up with the puppet, the original attack line puppet, and I came in and decided I needed to start painting him because the person that was painting him couldn't repeat a painting process to save his life. So I kind of pushed my way in and started doing that. It was more of a ask for forgiveness rather than permission sort of thing with Pat. But as far as products go, when we come up with new ideas, most of the time it's us joking around, saying dumb things. Like our giant crow was literally me screaming "Scary Crow" at the shop about nothing, and we were just writing down ideas, and eventually that became a giant raven. The lunging illusion boxes all came from our dinosaur box, which then turned into a lunging creature that I made, which is X46, lunges out of a crate, which then turned into a lunging jack in the box just because I had this idea of using a scissor mech to put inside of a box and make it lunge. And then I was like, oh, when I was a little kid, there was this thing, you put these mirrors and it looks like a head's on top of a table and there's nothing underneath it. Oh, I, use the mirror illusion. And I said, oh, I can fit that into a box. So really it's just coming up with something and we just joke around and turn it into something else. So yeah, all the dumb stuff we say on drives to shows like Fear Expo or HauntCon, we come up with ideas just by joking and saying dumb things, and it turns into products. It's the weirdest creative process, I guess.
Now, how much of this creative process never reaches the mainstream?
Oh my God, so much stuff. Because it is mostly just me and Pat at the shop. We don't have a huge amount of time for R&D, research and development. So there's stuff that's just been sitting there half finished, barely started, just a sculpt, just a sketch, just an idea that never makes it. Well, so far hasn't made it to a product because we're busy making the other products that have sold, which is a good problem to have. It's just like, oh, I want to get to this next thing. I want to make this new one. Like we have a giant bat creature right now that's an attack puppet. We have a sculpt done. Our friend Kent Kidwell from Mortal Remains sculpted and came up with an idea for us, and it's molded, it's sculpted, it's waiting for paint and finishing, and we just haven't gotten to it. Pat has a robot that he based off of Westworld, his idea, the original Westworld, with the face opens up and it's a robotic, humanoid, and we got a sculpt partially for a head. We got the arm he's posted out there, and I'm like, quit posting stuff before we have things done because we're not going to get this done before this show or that show or whatever. So yeah, there was an 8-foot dry erase board of ideas when I first started that we came up with that has photos somewhere that we have to get back to and actually figure out, oh, can we make that? So just like my light up bungee, I have, light up jack-o'-lantern bungee head that it took me 3 years just thinking about how to actually develop it and make it before I actually did it. And most of my R&D goes on in my head. I don't even break out different ideas. I mean, I might test materials, but I was thinking about that the other day. Is like my R&D is just, okay, does that work? No. Does that work? No. It's all in my head. And then almost all of a sudden I'm building something. Pat's like, what do you got? I said, I'm building a new product. Our Flow wheelchair lunger was built in 2 days before we went to HauntCon in like 2017.
So you got a question on the board here. I'll bring it up for you.
Oh, we got.
Is it too late to order a bungee head for this season?
It is not. I actually have a lot. Since I have employees now, which is awesome. I have a bunch of extra heads unpainted, so I can, if it's my, the regular head, which is my head, or a clown version of that, or a UV version of that, it's unpainted. I haven't finished it. So yeah, you can still order bungee heads. I haven't cut off production on those yet. Mostly because I have either some finished or some ready to paint. Whereas years past, as soon as I got done with making all the orders from the biggest shows of the year, like Fear Expo, I was done with heads for the year because I had to finish making the bigger products. But since there's a bunch of heads ready to go, they're still available for order.
All right, so you want to do a giveaway as well?
Sure.
So let's go ahead and plug that. And again, you can do the same thing. You can make up the rules and tell us what you want.
Well, we can do the my Universal Monster shirt, which is my art guy design one from my sketches. That one you can do #sucks. #Doug sucks. We can do that.
Jeff already beat you to that.
The #Doug sucks?
Yeah.
And then I do have Famous Puppets t-shirts. I got 3 of those from VFX that Pat said I could give away, so we'll do 3 of those. I don't know what to do on that one unless people want to ask questions, if that one works. Ask questions and you're entered.
All right, so questions get you in for the 3 VFX shirts.
And I do have sizes small through 3X as far as I know.
And you got 1 from Art Guys Design, yours, and that's going to be #Doug sucks. I gotta write all this stuff down because I don't remember things as well as I used to.
Jeff wants to know why I'm so sexy. I'll thank my mom.
So let's get into Fear Expo weekend. You were on bus one. The fact that we made it back is a plus, but things weren't as crazy as they were depicted, but it was still a lot of fun. So tell us about your experience.
Believe it or not, that's the first haunt tour I've been on that it wasn't like me just putting together a bunch of haunts for me and my friends to go to, because I've done weekends in Chicago and Wisconsin and actually done like 9 haunts in a weekend. So yeah, this was fun. I didn't have to drive. I didn't have to plan anything. So that was awesome. And then you kept everything going. You were actually saying you know what you were doing, but you were actually keeping everybody going. It's like, all right, we're bus one. We're the first ones to go and the first ones back. I'm like, as a vendor, I was glad we were back by whatever time was, 11:30. But yeah, we had fun. I mean, it's like, you start in the middle of the day. Well, we started early in the day, but yeah, the bus tour that was great. I mean, 6 haunts in one day. The last one, unfortunately, was raining, so we didn't get to go all the way through Black Orchard. But they did what they could with their inside spot, since they're half outside. So got some blood on me. Got some extra. What do we get? Some spit and black icing on us from Haunted Hotel.
Yeah, that was Haunted Hotel was there to win, for sure. Yeah, I did drop my pants. That's right.
He did drop his pants. So did someone else, Jody.
Yeah, I was defending bus one's honor. Okay,
you were both getting into it for whose bus was better. Didn't matter. I was eating as I'm walking past, and I see some pants coming down. I go, I'm not looking that direction. Let me finish my pizza.
What was some of the memorable points of that tour for you?
So believe it or not, Malice Manor, one, besides the fact that I walk out and I got blood all over me, and Zach comes out behind us and has blood all over him. And we're like, okay, that's what was dripping down my face. When we were walking in, there was 2 gargoyles at the beginning of it that was by my friends from Necrotic Creations. And our friend who ran that, along with his girlfriend, had just passed away in 2020. So we were actually having kind of a sad moment, but it made me, feel like he was there with us at the haunt, because we didn't get to see him at shows since then. So I was like, oh, Robert, rest in peace. But it was great to see some stuff from our friends in the industry that we don't get to see much anymore, because, stuff happens. You're not promised tomorrow. Let's bring the show down, Doug.
Well, what was the rest of the weekend like for you?
Man, I had all my stuff at the VFX booth with Art Guy. Well, I had all my ceramics. I make so much stuff. There wasn't even half the stuff I can fit there, while trying to also run our booth and show puppets and answer questions, because I'm constantly talking to people at shows. So I'm always talking. So it was nice to have. We had Jose there, Molly Zombie on TikTok, Molly Z, who brought his slingshot and everything. So he was there showing off puppets, which was awesome. But yeah, since we make so much stuff now, it was basically me and Pat were like, we were able to handle it last year. Well, the show was so much busier this year. We're like, I need like 3 more people. We didn't have enough people to really show everything, but it was good. It was busy. We sold a bunch of stuff and made it easy to get in and out. Just like, the year before, we guys have helpers unloading our truck, and, we could actually drive into the show floor, which is awesome. So there's only a couple shows I get to do that at. I got another one next month. I'm doing an oddity show, and I get to drive into America Center in St. Louis. I'm like, yay, drive into the America Center to load. So nice.
Yeah, shout out to Tim Meadows and his crew from Hex Haunted House, who he brought 10 people to come work the show and help you guys set up and do all that. So those guys, I mean, they had one day where they worked like 14 hours straight to make sure everything was set up. I mean, and they did it with a smile on their face. So, shout out to those guys big time.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
We do have a couple questions here. I got to go back through and try to find them. They were coming up so fast.
Someone asked how long it took to mold my head. Did that at HauntCon in like 2017. And I think we sat there for about hour and a half molding my head for that. So that was a class at HauntCon. I just happened to be the model.
Zach wants to know, what shows are you going to be coming up to next?
So my stuff, Art Guy Designs and Odditikis, I am doing Oddities and Curiosity Expo in St. Louis. That's May 12th. I will be doing Midsummer Scream out in Long Beach last weekend of July. And then I'll be doing Mask Fest in Indianapolis. That is August, I think like the 18th that weekend. And then I have a small show in my hometown, a little indie market, night market in Belleville, Illinois, where I was born and raised. And that's in October, like the Saturday before Halloween. So we'll see how that goes on a Saturday night before Halloween.
So what are things that you were looking forward to, like, as we go into this year's haunt season? You know, we're post-COVID now. Things are kind of getting back to normal, or more normal than they have been. Are you a haunted house enthusiast? Do you try to hit as many haunts as you can during haunt season? Do you work at a haunted house? Like, what does your haunt season look like? And
it's been different. I mean, I started as a home haunter when I was 6 years old, so I've been doing this I'm 43, however long that is. And I home haunted for years, did my own home haunted house. Since I've been working at VFX for 10 years, we used to be a lot slower in October, so I had to get enough time to go out and do something. Like I said, I used to plan haunt tours with me and my friends up in Chicago, and I'd hit 9 haunts in a weekend. Every once in a while, I would help. I would guest act at used to be Pale Knight's Haunt in Illinois. Here it was Raven's Curse, and they sold that off in 2019, so I don't get to go play there. So hopefully this year, if it's slow enough, I'll get to go play maybe in Chicago, because I got family up there I can crash with. And then I'm friends with the people at Basement of the Dead. That would be fun to go up there and play in their line and bring some bungee heads and props and stuff. I do like acting. It's fun. I get to mess with people, and they don't get to see me again, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, Basement of the Dead was easily top 5 best queue lines I've ever worked in my life. I worked that line. I couldn't tell you how many times I was invited back to go work there. Those guys really know how to put on a party. What's crazy about their queue line is, like, when people come out of the haunt, they don't leave. Like people don't go home, and it's crazy. Everybody just hangs out. Before you know it, there's just 1,000 people out there hanging out, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, I'd come up there and they'd get us through the haunt. They give us VIP, and we'd go through and see everything. And one year we were doing video for Haunted Attraction Network or something, and I was doing pics and video, and they knew we were going to another haunt, and we're just kind of had a friend sitting there, you know, who isn't in the haunt industry, sitting there going, "What you ought to do?" And we're like, you don't run a haunt, don't tell them what to do. But anyway, they're like, you guys are going to Statesville, right? Are you guys going to Hell's Gate? Yeah, we're gonna try to get you out of there. Like, they're literally like, yeah, we know we're having fun here. Go. You're going, yeah, 3 more haunts you're supposed to see tonight. I'm like, I know, they're trying to get these guys going. But yeah, I'm friends with those guys, so that's pretty cool. And hopefully I'll get up there and play maybe this year. We'll see.
Now,
but they do some unique stuff, that's for sure.
So since you have this incredible creative brain for this haunt industry, what is kind of like one bucket list item that's just been kind of mulling around in your head that you really want to create and make happen?
I have this animatronic zombie that uses no electronics. Yeah. It's based off an old toy, and I still want to make it. And this is one I can't just build in my head and get it figured out. I have the design in my head, but I have to actually play with some materials for how lightweight and stuff is. But it'll work off a kind of a rope and spring system and a physical pressure mat that'll actually make it fall towards you and then stand back up.
Really? Like, I don't.
Yep. If I say too much, I mean somebody else might try to do it. Right. So
I'm usually pretty good with follow-up questions, but you know, I worked for Evolution for years, and I built zombies and stuff for them. This is like I'm kind of speechless that, like, I want to build a animatronic with like no electronics whatsoever. That seems awfully ambitious.
It hasn't happened yet, and it's gotten through at least 2 different little tests of pieces of different, what type of material I can use for parts and wire/rope or whatever that holds it together. But it was all based on a toy when I was a little kid. They don't make it too much anymore, but the fact that we, as VFX, we make stuff that's portable and you don't have to plug it in or whatever. It does come with sound systems on all our stuff. Or it's, you can take it wherever. We're like, oh, can we make something that people can use in like a haunted trail where they don't necessarily have electricity? So I was like, yeah, there's a thing that can do it. It's just whether you can scale it from a tiny toy to a full-size zombie.
All right, so we have a few minutes left for the contest. So we have, for the Killers card game, you're going to hashtag KillersTCG. So get those hashtags up because that contest is still going live. Doug still has his Art Guys Design shirt that he's going with hashtag Doug Sucks, and 3 VFX shirts and pretty much any size that you want. And that, all you have to do is ask questions. So get your last minute questions in for Doug. And so this way you could be entered in to win these shirts because he doesn't want to be stuck with them because I'm sure he has a ton of them anyways. So we need to give this stuff away.
We've ordered the VFX shirts twice this year. We've already gone through the first batch. So we haven't put these up on the website yet. We gave away a lot of shirts.
So what can you tell us without giving away too many secrets? What's going to be new in the next year for VFX, Odditikis, Art Guide Design, everything that you're a part of? What are some kind of the new products that we can look forward to?
Well, we can go to Odditikis. I have my new Jolly Chimp Tiki mug that I got to finish. Creepy ass Tiki Chimp. Then I have, I'm just showing you stuff. And then I have this full-size skull bowl we're going to do. And that'll actually have a lid on it. Those are both sculpted by my friend Carmen. I'm actually working with other artists, so it's like, if you're a sculptor and you want to do something with me for Odditikis, get a hold of me and we might work something out. I got several friends that are working on sculpts and stuff for me. What else? VFX. I know we got a bat creature, like I mentioned, in the works. There's definitely going to be some other bungee heads in the works. If I can get to that non-electronic animatronic, we'll get to that. The Westworld type puppet, the robotic puppet, is already in the works. Man, there's some wearable lunging stuff that VFX we've been trying to get back to, where you actually, instead of having a box, the thing actually lunges out of your chest. So you're actually wearing the lunging puppet. Man, we had a product called Shitface Sherry we never made it to. You can let your imagination run wild on that one.
So you do have a couple questions out here. What
we got?
What are some of the best-selling items? And we already went over Doug's dream build here. Let's best-selling items, and how many items have your head on it?
Best-selling items. Fear Expo was Molly Zombie, especially since we had Jose there from Molly Z. We've been selling a lot of her and her twin brother Munch. Those two I made a lot of those right now. How many have my head? Well, there's bungee heads. There's the regular, there's the clown, there's the conjoined, there's a conjoined clown, there's the skull ripped face version, and however many paint jobs of that, so at least 5 of that. And then there's also Norris, the alien puppet, that's my head split in half. That's like you with a conjoined puppet, like from The Thing. So that's what, 6, at least 6 products with my head. I think that's about right. 6 with my head.
Haunting You wants to know, what do I need to do to become a bungee head? I'm assuming that's Johnny Bronto saying that. So what do you have to do to be a bungee head?
Maybe I've been trying to figure out if I can teach a class at HauntCon and what it would be without me being too far from from VFX's booth for too long, and Pat's like, "Hey, you should teach something." I'm like, "I can't teach painting. I'll be gone all day teaching people how to paint something." But yeah, if we do a live cast and I can get a hold of like Smooth On and see if they can sponsor it, maybe we can do Johnny's head that day, do a live cast, and then he could be turned into a bungee head.
Somebody wants to know, are you doing T-Rex on a stick still?
Yes, we had 2 of them at Fear Expo, and we just had them kind of sticking up in the air, and nobody really saw them. The Dino Hammer is what we call that.
What scary?
I rode it around like a hobby horse.
Scary Gary wants to be ahead.
Scary Gary wants to be ahead. Again, it would have to be somewhere we can do a live cast and
go to Florida. Go to Florida and knock on his door. There was another question up here, and I saw it, and I don't know where it was at, and it was a pretty good question. Oh, what website is your mugs on?
artguydesigns.com.
Awesome. All right. We're going to do the drawing here in a second. So there you go, artguydesigns.com. Where can we find you and all of your products?
Well, artguydesigns.com, odditikis.com will be the website that has all my stuff on it. It's not even all on there because I also make prints. I think all my books are on there. So I actually have 3 books of artwork that I did 3 different years. There's a Year of Skulls, Year of Monsters, a Year of Horror, or Year of Monsters and Rock. There's 2 of them on there. I got prints. I don't even have all the prints on there. I got pins. There's a pin in my head I don't even have on there. But it's on, if you find it on my Instagram, which is either Odditikis at Instagram or ArtGuy79 on Instagram. If you see something on there, message me. I might have it. I make masks. There's several on there. There's more that I make more masks than that I don't even have on the website. I got paintings. I don't even know if you can see it on the side. So there's little skull paintings I make. There's prints. There's skulls. There's t-shirts. There's pins. Man, I don't even know what all I have. I just make a lot of crap. So if I go to work and we don't make it at VFX, I come home and I make more stuff. Sometimes my wife sees me. Yeah.
I didn't even realize you had this much stuff. Wow.
I didn't have any of it at Fear Expo.
Well, we're going to have to change that, I think. I think a lot of that stuff would do really well there. So, are you ready? Are you ready to do this giveaway, Doug?
What we got?
Well, let's see here. For all of you who hashtagged and all of you who asked questions. So, let's see here. If a name has been drawn here. So we hit our viewership. So we will be doing the Killers card game.
I hope I win.
So did you hashtag it?
I did twice.
You did twice. So
I got my phone here and I got my iPad over here while I was making ceramics. I was literally sitting here painting the first color on these.
I'm waiting for Fear Expo to decide who the winner is. Usually they come up and tell us who the winner is. So we will.
Is Dick Tapper on tonight?
I don't think he is, but he won last week. If you saw that, I don't know if he reached out and got his Leonard Pickle design book or not yet. We'll have to figure that out if he actually did. So we'll
all the way in New Zealand.
Yeah, we can talk later about that. There's a lot that you and I should talk about eventually. All right, so we're getting told that you, Doug, can pick somebody for your contest. So you had a lot of people ask questions here.
I can't even see them. Where?
Oh,
I got to swipe or something.
So I'll tell you what, I will go through here and I'll find, because there was a really good one that I really liked. If I can find who.
I saw Shane T-Rex on a stick. Yes, your wife did get the first one.
All right, well there you go. So there's our that's one of our VFX winners right there for asking a question.
All right.
So Shane, reach out to Doug.
Doug at VFXcreates.com.
There you go. Doug at VFXcreates.com to get your free VFX shirt. Next person who is asking questions, Zach.
Hey, I know Zach. We were on Bus One together.
Bus One, Team Bus One. Zach, reach out to Doug for your VFX shirts. And let's see here. I'm just going down the list looking for the next person who asked a question here. Come on, there's got to be. I want to say haunting you, but that's almost like cheating. We can't give haunting you stuff. I just overlooked it. I just passed it. Where's it at? Sean Mills. Sean Mills, who asked, how many VFX props has your head been on? That'll be our third VFX shirt. Now, we got to find a hashtag Doug Sucks here. You did, as I'm going through all the hashtags, I do see that you did hashtag Killers and Card.
I did. I met Jeff at Fear Expo last year, and I didn't, make it to his booth. Well, I did. I talked to him several times last year.
So I see. All right. So then the first Doug Sucks hashtag that came up was Molly Zombie. So again, all these people that we can't let win. Let's see here. Man, there was even a F Bus One comment on here. Man.
Someone must have been on Bus Two.
Right. Let's see here.
Hey, Michael Burnett's on. Hi, Michael.
We're going to go with Daryl Hutchins. Daryl, reach out to Doug at, where do you want him to reach to you at again? Because I forgot your email address.
Doug at VFXcreates.com.
Doug at VFXcreates.com. You are going to get one of artguysdesign.com shirt. Oh, there's too much.
All right.
And I got to give one more thing away, and that's going to be to Tammy Kane for the Killers the Card Game. So, Tammy, reach out to Jeff, and he will hook you up for the card game. All right. That was a lot of giveaways.
Doesn't he have like 3 starter packs to give away, too?
I have no idea. I wrote it all down, but then it all got mixed up in the notes. So, I'll tell you what. We're gonna maybe we'll add that into the grand prize once I figure out what the grand prize actually is going to be. But the grand prize for the show, I can tell you this, is going to involve tickets for shows. It's going to involve tickets for haunt tours. It's going to involve.
Can I win those?
You're going to be there anyways.
I will be there anyway.
You can't win something that you're already going to be.
We'll probably be sponsoring it or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's going to be product giveaways, and it's all going to be one like giant package that's going to be sent out to somebody. Yeah, so that's going to be cool. I don't know when we're going to give away with that. Anyways, it's getting late. Doug, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I always love talking to you, man. Love hanging out with you. You're a real dude to me, and I really do appreciate you.
Thanks. Bus One rocks.
Bus One rocks. Hashtag Team Doug Sucks.
Doug Sucks. Hashtag Doug Sucks.
So we got to get. We'll have to arrange it somehow where you're on Bus One again, and instead of having Ultimate Haunt Tour shirts, we'll have Ultimate Doug Sucks Tour. Something on them so everybody can rock it. So, all right, Doug. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do for this industry. Thank you for VFX, Odditikis, ArtGuyDesigns.com, and everything else. I don't know if you sleep, but you probably should.
Okay, good night.
Yeah, have a good one, Doug.